to welcome each of you to Counseling 6315 and to the Olu School Counseling Program. I want to go over information that you'll see in your Engage portal as well as your course syllabi. So one of the things that you'll notice when you log in is you'll notice the course wall. This is a great place for students to communicate with each other and to communicate with their instructor. This is a very popular place for students to post questions that they may have, a general question about maybe assignment, instructions. Students also share different tips. So if there's an assignment that's coming and they found a great resources, students share here. So you kind of can consider this like your discussion board for the course itself versus individual assignments. This is also a place where I put up small little announcements, bigger announcements. You'll also find over here, but just like a general chat, this is kind of like our chat box right here. When you log in, you'll see the Getting Started tab. One of the things that I want to point out about the Getting Started tab is that this is not only for getting started. This is going to be a great resource for you throughout the entire course. And I say that because there's information in here that you're going to have to log back into as you're doing assignments. So this is where you'll find the course syllabus if you have not already. And I'll open that just a second so we can go over a few items in there. This is also where you're going to find information about your major assignments and the rubrics for those assignments. So it's a great place for you to continue to go throughout the course. You're going to have to set up a digital portfolio. You're going to have, for your final submission of documents, it's going to go into the digital portfolio, and we'll go into more of that as the semester goes. But those instructions are in here as well. Resources that we have for the Writing Center, for plagiarism detection, and the APA checklist. That information is here as well. And this APA checklist form, you're going to see this as a required document for you to complete for many of those assignments that are going to be due on Fridays. Now there are these two forms here, the Student Lounge and the Ask the Instructor, but so far in my experience in the past 2 semesters, I haven't seen students use these 2 discussion boards just that often. Instead, they use the course wall. So that it is something that's available, but if you go in and you don't see anything, what I see most students do is they have that type of communication between each other and the instructor on the course wall. So we're going to start with the course syllabus. And if you click this button here, your course syllabus is going to open. I think I already have mine. No, maybe I closed it. So here's your course syllabi. I did mention in the course wall that I'm going to upload a corrected version on Monday. It's a very small change, and I'll outline that for you there. Most of you will probably, you can just go ahead and print this one, it'll be fine. Like I said, it's just 2 little things, but I'll show you that. This gives you information about my office hours and how to contact me. The telephone number to my office is listed here, but the best way to get in contact with me is going to be by email. We can have virtual meetings, whether that's on the phone, if we want to have a video conference. I have those times that are available. You can also send me an email if these times don't work for you and you want to schedule something outside of that. But I do have telephone conferences with students, virtual conferences, or by email. If you need any assistance, please let me know so I can help you navigate through the coursework and as we're going along versus trying to pick it up at the end of the course. So you can read the course syllabus on your own. There are just a few things that I want to point out. One of the things happens to be the means of assessment. So these are the assignments that you're going to have this semester along with the percentage that they are worth for your final grade. You're going to have discussion boards each week. These projects here, the historical overview, professional organization, social justice, career goals, and philosophy of counseling, these are all parts of an assignment that is going to be part of this final submission. So this final submission isn't a new or additional activity. It's going to be how you're going to submit all of these in a final product. But we have them broken up so that you don't have so much of this due at one time. You're going to turn it in periodically throughout the semester to get feedback before you do your final submission. You will have quizzes that are due each Friday and a reflection paper. Course grades will either be an A, B, C, or F. Remember, in a graduate school program, you want to try and maintain an A and a B. We do only allow 2 C's to apply towards graduation. And if you earn a grade of an F in the course, then you will be withdrawn due to enforced scholastic withdrawal, and you'll have to apply for readmission. So let's try and stay on the A and B. And like I said, communication is key so that we can make sure we don't have things to clean up at the end. We take care of them along the way. Attendance is mandatory. Even though this is an online course, we do have assignments that are due on particular days, and you are required to log in throughout the week to ensure that you are meeting the attendance policy. We do require that you participate in the discussion boards, and you participate and you interact with your classmates and your professor. Remember, since it is online, you want to make sure that anything that you post, you would be free, with this being something that's, we always say, plastered in the newspaper on the daily news. So just make sure that you do understand this is online and we cannot maintain complete confidentiality, and you want to ensure that you're putting your best foot forward. Late assignments. Late work will not be accepted unless pre-approved by the instructor. So make sure you understand that if there is something that's coming up and you know that your assignment may be late, then you need to let me know that so we can discuss it to see if this is a case where a late assignment can be accepted. Once the due date has come forward, late assignments are not accepted for grades. In the counseling program, we use the APA writing style. There are going to be tools that we have available for you to help you learn APA if you're not already familiar with it. But all of your assignments throughout the course of the program are going to require that you use APA style writing. If you have not already purchased an APA manual, that's a great suggestion for me, is for you to get one. If not, I'm going to show you some online tools that'll help you as well. But the APA manual itself is the official version of APA writing tools. If you need accommodations, then make sure that you have contacted the Office of Students with Disabilities so that they are able to get the information that they need from you and provide that to me as the instructor so we can ensure that you have the appropriate accommodations. Okay, you are responsible for reading this syllabus in its entirety, but there are just some things that I wanted to point out, but you are responsible for going back and reading them all yourself. So we have the course calendar, which is going to tell you what each week is going to entail. The required readings that you're going to have, and the resources. So this is the area where I said I haven't, it didn't allow me to add two quiz dates. So you'll see that on Tuesdays, your initial post is due, and Friday, your peer response is due. And if you have an assignment, they're also due on Fridays. In week 1, you actually have a voice thread and a discussion board. So you're going to have 2 posts due on Tuesday, and on Friday you'll have 4. In week 2, you see that you have a discussion board post and you have your first assignment due. So your first assignment is going to be an APA assignment. It's going to be due on Friday, the same day that your peer responses are due. This is week 3. And on the second page of week 3, this is where I said the correction needs to be made. There's no field box to allow me to type in that this assignment is due on September 9th. So if you want, you can go ahead and print this course syllabus out, and you can just go ahead and write that date in, that it is due on 9/8 on Friday, the same day as the other assignment. Okay? If you have any questions about the course syllabus, please let me know, and I'll help you to gain more understanding about what the expectations are. Alright, so if I go back into the course, we have the Assignments and Rubrics tab. You'll see over to the right, this is going to break down each of the assignments that you have due. And the first one is going to be the instructions for the assignment, and the second one is going to be the rubric. So if I were to click on social justice, here are the instructions for the social justice assignment. We give you the purpose along with what the instructions are. Tells you the link that you need to follow APA, the articles that you need to have, and once again that APA checklist form. It's due on Friday of the week, and so if you go into the weeks, you'll see the exact date, and you can use your course syllabus as well. So you have your instructions, and then you'll have the rubric. So the rubric tells you the criteria that we're looking for. You have your max points and how you can earn those max points. So this is going to be what is used to determine the grade. So when you're doing your assignment, you're going to want to make sure that you have this printed out so you can make sure that you have each of the components that you need to meet the expectations of the assignment. The APA checklist form is also here. So here's the APA checklist, and you're going to, if the assignment calls for it, you can find it either in the Getting Started or the link in the instructions will also take you to it. And so this is something that you're going to use to help you self-edit the paper to make sure that you have the APA components that are required in the paper, and this is kind of like the checklist. So you'll submit your paper and the APA checklist in the submission Dropbox. So that's the Getting Started tab that, like I said, you should use throughout the course. And then you have each of your weekly assignment tabs. So for week 1, we have the objectives and readings. And so when you click here and you open it, you go over to the right hand side. This is where you can navigate through to find your required readings. You'll have your textbook readings, and there may be an additional article that goes along that'll help you to respond to the questions for the discussion board or the VoiceThread prompts, and your required resources. So sometimes there's media, sometimes there may be a website that we want you to visit to get more information, but you'll be able to toggle through those here on that side. You'll have your VoiceThread introduction instructions, and then this is where you'll go through to actually record your VoiceThread. Your discussion board is here. Remember, your initial response is due on Tuesday, and then your peer responses are due on Fridays. So you would add a new discussion topic. Title it, and then put your message and post. So this is the general overview of the tabs that you have available for you. My videos can only last 15 minutes, so I'm going to have to upload one more because I want to go over this counseling research starter with you. But this gives you a basic information about what the course is. You can click here if you want to find more information about me. Once again, welcome, and I look forward to seeing you throughout the course. Have a great weekend.